Hello and welcome to another update video about Cardano. Just want to give you a quick update because I think, a breakout is really imminent, and that breakout doesn't need to be to the upside. It can also be to the downside. And unfortunately, we failed to form another impulsive move here to the upside. Actually, it seems like a lot of the altcoins are currently suffering a little bit, and that's because I think Bitcoin is currently going up. I think some money is flowing possibly from altcoins into Bitcoin. I know some people have done that. But I also talked to you earlier about that more and more people are now entering long positions for Cardano. So I think that is important. And also what I didn't tell you today is actually that I read that most Australians actually prefer Cardano as their coin of choice. So I think Cardano seems to be the most popular cryptocurrency in Australia. Found that quite interesting, even though I don't live in Australia. But anyway, just found that fairly interesting. So we can see here that we're currently finding support still at that triangle, and we are still forming here an ascending triangle here on the RSI, even though, it looks a bit like that we're breaking currently out of this descending triangle to the downside. Now that would be a break of that pattern, would indicate that potentially this will not lead to a breakout to the upside. And I was just going to tell you that we're also getting a sell signal on the MACD here, where we are making a bearish crossover on the daily. So that's quite meaningful actually. That could now really lead to further price drops also here below that support line of the triangle, would indicate further falling prices for Cardano. And I can imagine that if Bitcoin, for example, doesn't get through the all-time high, and if it drops, that it will take a lot of the altcoins with it. So be aware of that. And because Cardano doesn't have any buffer here anymore left, only that support level, I would be surprised if Cardano could then in this situation hold it, and I think it will go down lower. Now, what is certainly the case, if Cardano would be up here, I wouldn't be that concerned, because then if Bitcoin falls, I would say that Cardano probably finds support here. But because Cardano is already here, there's not much where it can fall to within that pattern. And then it could just fall to these lower levels, for example, the 203 level and the $2 level. And below that, obviously, we had the 191 level. I mean, these are key support levels. We are still below the 20 and the 50-day moving average, and to be honest, the Cardano chart doesn't look great compared to some other cryptocurrencies. It is just what it is. It just is suffering a little bit here, and we can see that here on the RSI on the 4-hour chart. Well, it's basically mimicking the price action, so we don't see any divergence here or anything forming. Also, we have a short signal on the ADX, and we also have a sell signal on the MACD, so it's not looking too good. Yeah, here on the 1-hour chart as well. And again, it's only a quick update. We can actually see, I think, to be honest, it's looking a little bit like that we're coiling here for a push to the downside, because the buyers can't really push the price again to the other side. It's really looking like a move to the downside is imminent. I'd be happy if it's not the case, but yeah, it could really happen. And what I did say earlier, I really want any breakout to happen. It doesn't matter anymore if it's going up or down. I just want to escape this this prison here of this triangle, because it's just painful. Yeah, it's just painful to watch. To be honest, also Ethereum is still in a triangle here, but hasn't been in that for that long. And with Ethereum also, I think I mentioned earlier that we're in this triangle. And as a continuation, I would expect a move to the upside. Well, there was actually an attempt to move to the upside, but it failed. It was a fake out. We actually dropped below the support line, and now we're in it again. I think here on Ethereum, we're actually coiling up for a move to the upside if Bitcoin behaves. And I think we will see that coming here for Ethereum, but Cardano is just performing poorly in terms of price. But as I said earlier, more and more people seem to be entering long positions now. So that's looking good then on the other hand. And I think for a long-term perspective, and even in the next few weeks and months, I still expect price increases. It's just that we are currently not really doing what we should be doing here on the Cardano chart. It's sort of doing, in a sense, it's sort of doing what it's always done, which is lagging behind Ethereum. But this is really extraordinarily long in my opinion, because Bitcoin, Ethereum is going up, Cardano is going down, even though other altcoins are going down as well. And again, it just needs a bit more patience. I talked about some things that will be launched here in October, which will make it better for developers, or easier for developers to develop and integrate their dApps and things like that. And the community is great, and you can stake and everything, and all of that is good. But I think it would be good for the community to see the price go up now as well. But as I said, the altcoin season is coming, and what normally happens when we come out of the Bitcoin season, then first of all, money is flowing into the larger cap altcoins, like for example Ethereum and like Cardano and probably also Solana and BNB and some other ones like XRP, Ripple, and maybe also VeChain, before it then flows into some of the smaller cap altcoins. So yeah, I mean, I'm still holding. I think these are really good prices. I think it is extremely undervalued compared to some other cryptocurrencies. And again, this is no financial advice, but it is extremely undervalued in my opinion. And to be honest, people, I know already what's coming. People will post in the comments, you know, Cardano is performing poorly. But honestly, look at VeChain as well. VeChain isn't doing great as well. I think it's a great project. I think VeChain is doing a really good job in terms of the fundamentals and everything, but it hasn't really moved. I think it's due a breakout as well. But again, you know, for how long have we now seen a price of 11 cents here? It's been really, really painfully long as well now. And other ones like XRP, Ripple is performing poorly at the moment. You know, some of my favorite cryptos are actually not doing that well. But as you know, we're also talking about some other cryptos here on this channel which are doing really well. But these are just more of the sort of, you know, they provide more security for me and more long-term potential here, like Cardano. You know, they are now established, they have really, really meaningful partnerships. And as I said, other ones aren't performing great as well. For example, Algorand as well. Algorand is doing quite just a sideways range market. You know, it's not even that it's dropping or anything, it's just that sideways range market, which if you compare to Bitcoin, Bitcoin has obviously made a lot of you could have made a lot of profit with Bitcoin compared to Cardano. But that is also why I think it's also important to always diversify your crypto portfolio. And again, no financial advice, but even though Cardano is my biggest holding, and it still is, I also hold quite a bit of Bitcoin and yeah, other cryptocurrencies. That's why it's always important to diversify a little bit. And yeah, ideally, in an ideal world, you know exactly when Bitcoin is going up, you put all your money in Bitcoin and then you move it back. But that is theory, and reality is oftentimes different, which is why it's easier, in my view, to diversify and then take profits as and when it works for you. So hopefully you liked that video. If you did, please smash the like button. And if you want to follow me on this crypto journey, then please subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.